This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix the Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Synthetic.
Okay. Check. Yeah. Oh, I came in fine. Fresh to death. Nigga know I'm high. Hey, Sade, why you out? Let's go. Nigga know I'm high. Hey, Sade, why you out of breath? Yeah. Been the greatest round town. She already knew that. 358, 2 times. Send it to your face. I can be replaced. Yeah. I done finished you in the race. Shit get long. Hear that? Like a dreadhead. Bet it on my own. Oh man, I'ma cash out. I think I'm a cash cow. I'ma take it to the grave now. Ain't pain, it's pain now. She wanna ride like a greyhound. I wanna ball like a ray out. Niggas got something to say about me. I ain't taking nothing else. She my baby, yeah, I know that she love me. She ain't satisfied with my baby coming. Know these niggas people who I'm becoming. Yeah, swipe right inside of my life. I'm a slide baby girl like a ice. You a pussy nigga, hang out the mice. Like I'm Mike, Calvin, Cambridge. I can't fix your aim, bitch. What you saying, bitch? I can't speak your language. Give my flowers. It's like yeah, I know what all niggas I wanna be at. She thinks she know me, she don't even know a nigga be at. Yeah, I killed all my homies at the dealership, I spent on the jet. I slapped my bitch out in that Gucci so she could brag. I made her a bride now, no turning back. Though she could buy now, ginger and pot now, she thinks she that.
Take it off the wall.
I should've just tested my bitch just to see how she would act. Nigga, I came in fine, fresh to death. Nigga know I'm high, hey Sade, why you out? Nigga know I'm high, hey Sade, why you out of breath? Been the greatest round town.
Throw it on the ground.
We are safe. We did not prepare for that, but it's so hot in here. The smoke detector just went off. Welcome to another episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your DJ Chelsea Lee. We're going to get this stuff started with the host, DevNasty.
What up? Welcome to another episode, the special 100th episode, season finale of the Devinwade Show. And yeah, the fire drone was just going off crazy.
Not only do it.
It's just a whole bunch of bloopers right now on this celebration.
Yo, OMI can't. Yo, and he.
Watch your eyeballs, everybody.
Did y'all have it in the freezer?
What?
Yo, this is a dude that pop bottles off.
No, this is gonna hurt. That thing is crazy.
Yo, this is.
I don't give a fuck.
I think it froze before.
Yo, listen. Welcome to the show. Yo, this shit got crazy immediately, bro.
Bitch, it still smell like it's something on fire, bitch. Somebody make sure we good. Look, there you go. I told you.
They got it in their hand, though.
I told you, man. I smell that shit, man.
We took the fire alarm off the wall,
I
guys.
said, damn, I know we got one of the hottest
There you go.
motherfucking shows out.
Right.
I didn't know we was that motherfucking hot.
Right.
We setting fire alarms
Oh,
off
man.
this bitch, man.
But
Listen, we can't predict this shit.
Can we acknowledge that she just opened this?
Oh, listen.
I made it loose for y'all.
Listen, the
balls.
Yo, shout out to DJ Chelsea Lee.
Yes.
DJ Chelsea Lee.
She's been around a lot of bottles too.
Yeah.
She's been around a lot of
No, I've
bottles.
been doing a lot of push-ups.
Okay.
That's what it is.
You see her
Health is
big
wealth.
gold on. But listen, we're gonna fly through this, man, because today we got the whole family in the building. You know what I'm saying? I got, of course, the man himself, Puerto Rico's on.
What up?
Puerto Rich, and it is smoky as shit in here. I
don't give a fuck.
I almost choked the shit just now. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But also, we have dressed like she is going to the motherfucking Grammys or something. You know what I'm saying? This looked like she thought this was like the Love and Hip Hop reunion special
That's how I
joint.
carried it. That's how I
She
carried
said she
it.
wanted to go out with that bang.
Yeah,
Bang.
she came through splashing, you know what I'm saying? And that is the fashionista herself, Waleska D.
Hello, beautiful people. Mwah, 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 mwah.
We got everybody in the building to the left of me. We got my motherfucking brother OMI and the HELLCAT dropped in on us, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, what's good?
And
The
he got,
homie.
listen,
He got the Air Omi on.
oh my God.
New shit.
Listen, this dude moves extra fast with everything because
He had the jeweler literally like while he was creating Air Omi, he had him on a line like this, like, yo, I need this ready.
Yeah.
We doing this.
yeah,
It's permanent
that thing
now.
was just done instantly.
Pass.
Yo, he don't play around, man. Shout out to Kai, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, man! Beat that fucking name out of here.
Salute. Shout out. Shout out.
Say hello to your daddy, nigga.
You know what I mean? Shout him out. You know what I'm saying? We got everybody in the building. We got Talk Heavy in the building. GB Slice. You know what I'm saying? Back there. You know what I'm saying?
My guys.
We got everybody. But we gonna get into some stuff, man. We want to talk about a few things, man. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about, man, was something that Porter brought up to me and he thought was interesting, man.
Yeah.
He wanted to talk about bosses and friends.
Yeah. I want to get into that because and it's great. It's great because we got the homie, we got OMI here, and I'm sure he could, you know what I mean, touch base on this with us, you know. But lately, it's been a lot of stuff that I've been just running across online, right? About like crews that be together and how one guy might be looking more successful than like the rest of the crew. And then it's been a lot of stuff said like, oh no, that's not a real guy. If that, you know, in those certain situations, the guy who's getting all the money is not a real guy. If all the rest of the guys don't look the same, it's not equal. I also seen a guy like giving a whole rant on like how him and his crew do. And it was another one of those situations where he was like, yeah, we don't care if one or two out the crew is broke or messed up, situations like that. He was saying like him and his crew, what they do is they'll all take money out of each of their pockets to give the broke guys something. And if they have 10 chains, 7 chains, or 2 chains on one person will take his chain off to give the broke guy a chain. So then when they go out, they can bring the broke guys, and you know, it could be like a family affair. And
get out of here.
Exactly. That's how I kind of like felt to a certain extent, bro, because I just want to touch on it because it's been a lot of talk about it. Where like if you see circles and the whole circle not equally looking successful, then it's some foul play in like the main person who runs that circle or the person who's the most successful in that circle. And I just feel like that you can't say that in every situation.
It definitely can't be a situation where you just say that that's foul play. This person is doing something to generate that income for themselves. They're putting the plays together to get their money, and what they do with their money is what they do with their money. I do understand the thing or the gesture of like, oh, we all going out and my one man don't got certain shit. Because I remember that type of shit back in the day was something as simple as the club. Oh, he don't got a bunch of like dope ass clothes to throw on. Yo, grab this from me. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that type of shit, but it's not that person's obligation to dress you and jewel you up into a character in a sense, because I'm wearing all of these things because I really live like this. I earned this. I can buy this. Right. You just throwing it on in a sense is a costume.
For most of those dudes are around money and you know what I'm saying, they're around money all day and they feel, you know, they rather, you know, leech off the next man rather than get it themselves. But that shit happened to me a million times. I have 50 dudes around me. None of them say, yo, let's open up a business. Nothing. They just want to be munching around bottles and shit. And, you know, and then, you know, use me, don't misuse me.
And that's where
hold on. But did you hear what he said?
Yeah, use him, but don't misuse him.
Powerful.
Because that's super powerful, because I always tell people this: help me help you. Help me help you. You want me to help you? Help me help you. Because you can do that, right? And in a lot of cases, you know, and this is not to get personal into like my stuff, but I'm just saying like even me with my experience, you know, in the grind, a journey, right? It's a lot of stuff that I didn't know how to do coming into music, right? I had to figure out all these different hats that I had to wear. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like the same way I can do that, anybody that's around you can make themselves an asset to what you're trying to do. Anybody around you can, if they really want to, they can learn and try to make themselves an asset, not only to you, but to themselves. Because once you learn a new skill, now that's like a notch under your belt for your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is just like, I don't feel as though like that a person who grinds hard and does everything right, because I'm telling you, I deal with this, right? Like in crews, you got like one guy who just, he doesn't have the same vices that everybody has. He might not smoke. He might not drink. He don't party. He don't do nothing, right? All he do is get paper and save paper. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else around him is a little different. You got to understand that when you a little different, I'm not going to most likely be rich as my man who got less vices than me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What do you think happens all the time when people are in groups, right? And the money is split up equally. But then they're wondering, why does such and such out of the group have so much more than this guy, but this dude's not managing his money right. People instantly take it to something like he's doing something grimy. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, yo, money management is a big deal. If you don't know what the fuck,
then the
you
one
doing,
that gets locked up, they all had the same amount of money he expects them to pay his fucking lawyer.
And my thing is this.
Crazy.
And my thing is this. If there is a position, right? If there is such a position that's available where you can be in a crew and you can sit back while they do the fucking hard work, the whole fucking process, right? And when you don't got to do shit, you don't got to help do nothing. And when they get on and they start like reaping the perks, the perks from it and the benefits, they're going to keep you involved. They're going to include you and start doing everything for you. That if that position exists, that's the best fucking position in the crew.
Wait,
Who the
Porter.
fuck?
Well, I'm sorry, real quick. What's the guy that was part of St. Lunatics that wore the half mask?
Slow down.
It's funny because I was just watching this on Vlad TV with Nelly, and he was saying, slow down. He was like the only one in the crew that didn't want to rap. He didn't want to come to the studio. He didn't want to do nothing, and he was getting paid just as everybody else. And then it got to the point where they were like, I think they cut his check from like maybe $10,000 a month to like $4,000 a month, $3,000. He started complaining. They was like, you ain't come to no studio. You was getting paid like everybody. All you did was come on the stage and be the hype man for years and years. So he had that position that you're talking about. And then he got kind of like, you can look it up. And he spoke his side and Nelly spoke his side. And he said that like he felt some type of way. But they was like, you really wasn't putting the work in. You wasn't rapping. You was just a hype man. Like, what was you adding? Like, we could have had anybody on the street and paid them $500 a show, gave them some weed, some free alcohol, whatever.
Yeah,
you
but that's
wasn't
their
bringing
fault.
nothing.
That's their fault for enabling them from the beginning.
No, they was telling him, come to the studio, do this, and he wasn't. So after a while, after the enabler, they was like, we gonna cut this corner this way. He not gonna get that check. So I'm sure you want to have somebody in your crew that you would expect them after a certain time to level up.
Yeah.
But you can't bring everybody up to where you're at. And
some
you can't
people
be
wasn't
around
meant to be.
You can't be around a bunch of losers either, because they're gonna bring you down.
Anybody and everybody will grow tired of a person like that at some point. Anybody and everybody. It reminds me again of the scenario, and I like to use this as an example, but it's like when you go down like to the casino, right? If I go to the casino with OMI, right? And OMI got 100 grand on him, right? I might only have 2 G's, different levels, right? But I still can either go to the casino, bet with my man, fight with my man, take a risk with my man to try to turn up versus just be his guest, his company, right? Just a homie that with you. I'm not risking my money. I watch him risk his, right? He take the 50,000, he turned it into $1 million. You got some homies out here that's expecting 250,000 out of that.
No, that's a fact.
Or maybe even 500.
Because they were there.
When you had 2 grand in your pocket and you was scared to bet, you really didn't want to take no risk at all with yours.
Yeah. Worse than that, usually the person that got the 50,000 at one point had 2,000 and was taking risk in whatever way he was doing it, whether he was investing in his business, whether we already know in the streets, everything that niggas do, and you wasn't willing to take that risk. Scared money don't make no money. You know what I'm saying?
And I just feel like, bro, if we really homies, right? If you my homie that I'm supposed to have to like take care of or do something, if I get to this level and all that shit, then I feel as though that you should be helping me, because that's the type of bond that homie would have.
You know what's crazy? Because you
We
see
should all
that you see that a lot more with males than women. I feel like, a lot of males, they do that. There's a lot of men out there that want, what do you call that? They kind of want to feel inferior to a lot of their peers. You'll see one guy that's very successful, but you won't see him hanging with somebody like a OMI or want to hang with you or whatever, because they don't want anyone past beyond.
They want to feel superior.
Right.
So that's niggas that want lackeys.
Nah, but
Yeah.
that I don't know if that's true, because I always chill with dudes that I always grew up with, and they ain't never make shit of themselves.
No,
But it's
that's
not
different.
necessarily you. That's just not your personality.
I'll have 30 of them walking behind me, sniffing my ass.
No, but then you have people that just like, for example, but you have friends that got money though.
But no, but like that's when I started networking. I'm like, what the
Right,
fuck?
and it's different.
But I'm telling you, being the only one in the crew with money is like the worst feeling in the world.
I could imagine.
Because I used to be driving down 95 Lamborghini by myself, 2 Hondas behind me. Like it don't feel good.
Right.
That's why now I'm like, I'm not driving supercars anymore. I'm buying just Hellcats, 100,000. Right now I'm driving a fucking Honda.
And the niggas around you,
I don't want to do it.
And the niggas around you though, they should not be really like just so busy engulfed in like your success and like the glimmer, the glitter
glitz.
and the glamour.
No,
from
but
it.
that's why I have nobody around
If
you today.
anything, them niggas should be really like feeling your pain. Because I got homies that's like you, like niggas who well off, and it's like you said, why they gotta be the only ones that come to the table with something? Why they gotta be the only ones at the table with a plan? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, nah, like we should be each other's crutches. If you could put me on or you could do something to put me on, then my goal need to be to get myself in a position where, God forbid, if you fall off, I can return the favor.
No, facts.
Like that's just how that shit go. And a lot of shit is just so fucked up out here. It's different scenarios. And even what you were saying, I think I kind of like felt what you were saying because it's a flip side to it. It's something a little different. I think you was talking about like the type of niggas who like get successful and then they like put their foot on everybody around them neck. Because they like taking care of niggas. They like niggas that need that
Oh, that's a
handy
fact.
shit,
And some
handy
people
shit.
just need yes men, and you can't really make a yes man out of a nigga that got his own shit.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Some people absolutely need that. What women do though, sometimes, before the bad bitches link up era, when they found out that they was like more powerful in numbers, it used to be one bad John in the crew that wanted to be the only bad John in the crew. That's a fact. When they go out, it's like she's the standout John. So girls would do that more with like looks and shit like that,
Yeah.
and niggas would do that shit with like money.
We gotta start appreciating our people, our successful people that's in our circles, our family, our friends, and we really gotta start like letting that shit motivate us and fuel us and honor these people, bro. We gotta get out of like those bad ways and that bad programming that we've learned where like we just sit back and rely on 1-2 motherfuckers to change the ghetto.
And one thing I will never do is let somebody else make me feel bad for being successful.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? And like for you, that's something you definitely shouldn't do where you say, yo, I feel bad. It's like at the end of the day, bro, you work for what you have. Like,
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
it don't feel right riding through North Philly and shit in the Lambos and like, damn, everybody.
I get
don't feel
it.
good anymore.
I get it.
It's crazy that you say that because that's sad, bro. And I'm sure you could relate because I've seen my homies literally like stress the fuck out, bro, because of everything else around them. Like so many people feeling like they need them. So many people feeling like they obligated to do something for them. You know, that's like one motherfucker. Life already be difficult, right? Life already got its cards where life could get a little rough. Now you got to motherfucking like live your life and you got to fend to live grown motherfuckers' lives around you, yo. And don't
You
get me
don't
wrong.
have to fend because at the end of the day, we all have a choice, right? And that's what I'm learning now in life. Like, we need to stop, like Richie said, we need to stop feeling bad for people that aren't putting themselves in position, even when you give them opportunities. If you give them opportunities and they don't want to take the opportunity, that's on them.
Yeah.
But we have to learn how to translate that and just look at it as like, hey, you know what? That's not my fault, and don't let that weigh on you. That's why a lot of our friends and stuff, they die young. They die from like all types of stuff because why? They dealing from stresses, not amongst themselves, from other people. You know, the people around them.
I'm losing hair because of it. Nah, I really am. Look at this shit.
No, this is real shit though.
Nah, I know.
I'll be
I know
depressed.
bro be dealing with some shit. Like I'm gonna say one thing and then I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is this, right? Like, of course we always gonna try to do. The only motherfuckers who should be expecting like a handout or even needing a handout is motherfuckers that might be like handicapped, got some shit going on with them. They can't really get to it. And I know niggas that's even in them shoes and they hustle. They get it.
Man, I seen a one-armed guy knock out.
Like,
Yo, Chelsea is bad with
Motherfucker gets fired on your day off.
Yo, yo,
Motherfucker gets fired on your day
Chelsea
off.
and this button have a weird relationship.
Listen, I'm gonna say one name before we jump off this, just to give an example so nobody don't never forget, right? MC Hammer. MC Hammer was one of the successful people that came out of the West Coast somewhere, did whatever he did back in the day. MC Hammer thought it was his obligation to take care of his whole crew.
Whole
Entourages, everybody. I got everybody. Even people who didn't lift a finger, who didn't do shit. I got you. You with me? MC Hammer, I don't know how he's doing now. God willing, he's doing well. He getting his shit together. But MC Hammer fucked up a lot of money behind that. A lot of money that could have changed communities. A lot of money that could have went to like some real cool shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm gonna say is that be mindful, bro. Be mindful that everything need to be fair on both ends. If you got a friend You need to be respectful and loving towards that friend, and it need to be genuine and unconditionally, not no material shit over what a nigga got.
But it's definitely hard though when somebody is like, people grow up, they got family, cousins, people that they love, and you know that they try to put on all the time. Some people, it's not even about just maybe their work ethic. They just ain't got that savvy for that, man. They just don't.
It's not there.
It's not
and you can't change that.
They might have the crazy hustle, but terrible ideas, and they want you to invest in their terrible ideas, shit like that too. You know what I'm saying?
But I got a quick question though. Where do you draw the line between it being that and entitlement? Right, because a big thing that we got going on with the youth right now, you know what I mean, me being a mentor, Slice being a mentor, it's a lot of entitlement. And I was watching an interview and Beanie Siegel, he actually made a quote that stuck with me when he was like, entitlement is the thief of hard work. Right? And a lot of times when we got family members, it's like, you know, Dev, Omi, everybody in this room got family members that have, you know, they do a real good job counting your pockets. Sometimes they could tell you what you got more than you could tell you what you got. You know what I mean? And it's been many a times, like, you know what I mean? I've been here, you know what I mean, with Dev for some time, and there's been plenty of people that, you know, they know you can draw. They might know you could draw real good. So it's just like, yo, bro, I just need you to real quick, like, I need you to stop everything you doing
that's real.
And draw this picture for me because you my cousin. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, man, that should be just entitlement. It's just people taking advantage of, you know, the situation in their relationship with you. And Porter said something earlier, and Omi said something too. My motto has always been, listen, we can use each other. You know what I mean? Just don't misuse me. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So that's you know, I just want to piggyback on that.
I felt that all the way. What's crazy is it goes further than people you know. Bro, if I open up my phone and show you, people that are strangers, bro, hit me up to ask me for bread, to put them on, like all types of shit. Like, listen, big bro, I'm a fan, but this is what I'm going through. I need this, that, and the third. And you can't just go out there and reach. And the thing is, when you feel like that, you'll go look on people's page, try to investigate, see how they doing, to see like what you could, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's a natural thing, because I do, in certain cases, I do have a nonprofit where in certain situations, I see stuff and be like, I'll get with my man Chalk and be like, yo, we can do something for this person. But some of the stuff people be wanting to do, it might be like an investment in your business, and it's like, you know, unless I don't know what the idea would have to be to blow me away to make me risk.
But you know what's
paper.
crazy though, Dev? Like, people don't even take the time out to do the research. There's so many things out there that people can use for financially, even for us minorities. There are things out there. You know what it is? People just want to, like GB said, like, people just want to clock your pockets. They want that instant gratification. They don't want to do the work that there is a nonprofit out there that's supporting small black businesses that can give you 10,000, 5,000, whatever it is. It is out there.
Get with you a grant writer or something, you know, it's different things.
And all I want to say is, like, even for the people, like, when you mention, like, the couple people who, like, might not have the same skills, you might not can't do this, you might can't do that, you might don't get a whole lot of money, right? Crews, companies, organizations, there's always positions for somebody. You can still make yourself, and I say that all the time on my Instagram. I tell people, because people be like, I can't rap, I don't play ball. That's the first thing a nigga from the hood, especially in the ghetto, first thing a nigga say on why he should keep selling drugs, right? I can't rap, but they don't understand record labels and all that shit consists of all kinds of shit. Street teams, A&Rs, producers, directors, graphic designers.
But you said something really important though. You said, like, that's what drug dealers, that those be their excuses. But Elon Musk just said that drug dealers are one of the best businessmen out there.
Absolutely.
Or women out there.
Absolutely. And it's a real thing. That post about if you can run a gang, if you can run a drug corner, you can run a business.
Absolutely.
You can organize a team, a staff, a team. All that shit is real shit. And my whole thing is like, get in where you fit in, bro. And listen, and this is the ugly part. This is what people don't want to hear, right? This is the ugly part about all this shit real quick, right? Don't be, it's like Dev said, I'm not going to feel bad about how God blessed me and why he blessed me. Learn to love you, your role, your position, happiness, because it's really about happiness. Niggas think this shit is all like I know for me, and I know for my man right here, especially right now, we at the 100th joint, I know that it's been a lot of motherfucking hard work, blood, sweat, and tears.
That's real.
It's not motherfucking like all this fun shit like people think. People just see this. They see the outcome. They see the final piece, the final product. And they think, oh, they popping bottles. They got girls,
they got
women,
money,
drinks. They got money. No, nigga. Learn business. Learn business. Learn how when people coming up from rock bottom, starting something from nothing, how it really go.
Yeah.
It's not all fun and motherfucking games.
You don't know
man.
the setbacks, man. And that's our job, to make it where you don't see the setbacks. You know what I'm saying? The more you don't see that, I mean, I'm doing a good motherfucking job.
Word.
But I want to talk to y'all about because this is we might as well stay in that business world.
Okay.
And we talking about budgets versus prices.
This is really good because I actually just had a shout out to this guy named Kevin. Shout out to you because he put me D to some shit. So especially when it comes to business, when it comes to budget versus price, you know what's the first thing he asked me? Wally, what's your budget?
Right.
And I feel like it's important to know your budget because in regards to financial literacy, you need to know what's coming in, what's going out, your profit, what you're grossing, what you're netting. Those are the things we need to know. But with the street mentality, sometimes we always, because we have the cash available, not saying that I'm a street person. Can we just like...
She got bricks.
Hold on.
Blanco.
That came off kind of crazy.
There she
That came
goes.
off kind of crazy. You know, we have a lot of cash on hand. So we're like, okay, like whatever it is, like, here it is, whatever. But it's just like, you gotta have some, for me personally, I'm speaking from not everyone on the team, but I need to know what margin I'm trying to go for. I need to know how much I'm willing to ditch out on product, how much I want to ditch out on marketing, how much I want to ditch out on social media, you need to know those things because say if I want to get a business loan from somewhere, say if Sephora's not Sephora, that's not a good, say if like Bloomingdale's or Saks or something wants to put my brand in their stores and they're like, okay, well, how much are you making within your product, right? I give them a price. Okay, what percentage? You need to know these type of things.
Yeah, but what do you think on the ends of this though? When a person, let's say you want to get a commercial made for your joint. So you go to a production team or a videographer and you say, how much do you charge for a 30-second video to advertise my my clothing brand, right? When they ask you the question, what's your budget, right? And this is what I want to talk about because some people have issues and everybody's got the right to their own opinion.
Absolutely.
They have their issues with people asking what's your budget instead of telling you what their price is. And the reason is because if I'm speaking to OMI and you look at it and say, oh, he has millions of dollars. So now when he says like my budget is, you're now all of a sudden the video that you really only charge $3,500 for, because he said his budget is 20 grand on this.
Yeah. Right.
You like, oh yeah, I think I can knock this out for 18.5.
Yeah.
Like you cutting him
Listen,
a break. You feel
a perfect example. And don't get me wrong, I fuck with what you're saying. I think budgets is important. I just think there's a time and place. That's why I fuck with Dev, just mentioning this because I think it's definitely like a time and place with certain people where you may not want to give up a budget. And you might want to say, well, what is your normal price on what you do this for? Because you got things that's real situations like, and I'm gonna name one that's common, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, and they're gonna be able to touch on it. But funeral homes, right? Funeral homes, when people die in your family, right? This is, I think, the time to kind of like know what their price is as well, besides kind of like knowing what your budget is gonna be. Because, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of funeral homes and people who kind of like in that business, and again, I'm not saying all. You got dope people out there doing some dope things for people's families who's passing on. But you got a lot of funeral parlors out there that when they see that you had that insurance policy and it's already like 20 grand in there,
They running it up.
They trying to fuck it up. They like, oh, you need flowers here. You need the gold casket with the buttons, with the silver trimming. You need, it's about 19,880. You're going to have about 120 left. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is like,
so what would you add in that regard? How would you want the funeral to say? A price or a budget?
Well, if they ask me what's my budget, I'm going to ask them. Me personally, I'm always going to want to know somebody's like price on what they like kind of like charge for certain things. I think me, that's just me personally in business.
Would you
I think
take
I would want to
offense?
know that with as well as knowing my
What's your budget? Would you take offense, like, for example, right? The reason why I like the whole what's your budget thing is because I know how much I want to spend on something, but I will always do my research on, okay, for a commercial that looks like this, how much does that normally charge? For a commercial that looks like this, how much would that, for a photographer, for example, Devinwade, he's a great photographer, right? You know, he's going to charge a decent amount of money. Right. So I'm going to make sure I know my prices before when I come to them and they ask me what my budget is, I know if I want a high quality budget, if I want a high quality like production, I know that it ranges from this to this. So when they try to give you some astronomical number, this is when I hit them like, well, my budget is this.
I deal with that.
I don't fuck with what's your budget ever.
Okay.
And as y'all speak, I'm trying to think of a scenario where I'm asking for a service or a product, then ask me how much money do I have. It's like,
but I don't think they're asking what you have.
But that's basically what they're asking. So
that's how I felt a little bit.
You feel like that though? You feel like
I'm trying to think in any scenario because I know people who own painting businesses, and when we go to the better neighborhoods, our price elevates. You know what I'm saying? Based off
But the quality is the same.
The quality is the same. So
deep.
Let's do music videos, right? If you show me Puffy's video. I want to know what round if this the type video. Well, you should be able to show me a product and tell me this is the range.
Okay, so let me. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Let me speak on this because I deal with this every day, and I'm listening to all y'all. And I'm sure, Dev, you deal with a lot of what's your budget because you actually have a service. I provide a service of models. We do fantasy football drafts, DJing as a service, music video girls, all type of stuff. Party starters at Sweet 16s. And I will have people DM me or contact me on my website, imchelsealee.com. And they will, send me what they want. They'll send me a half-ass email, say, hey, I need six girls for a music video on Tuesday. And then my next question is, okay, I need more details. Where is this? What time is it? What are the girls wearing? What do you expect them to do? Are they ass shaking or are they just classy? So they'll be like, what do you charge for 6 girls on Saturday to do a music video? I can't just be like, this is what I charge because you're not giving me enough details.
100% accurate.
So that really, really depends deeply on what your thing is. And then next, people will say, okay, Chelsea, can you DJ my house party or can you DJ at this club? And then they'll just be like, all right, our budget is $200. Now, that's not how much I charge at all. But I will wait for somebody because sometimes they'll say, my budget is this. Or they'll ask me and I'll say, once I get all the details, I'll reply and say, okay, for this many hours, this is where it's at. This is what you want. This is what the charge is. If it's $75 per hour a girl, if it's $125 per hour for me to DJ, I will tell them and break it down why it costs that much. Then they will reply and be like, oh, I have $1,000 or $1,000 was my budget. Well, just because that was your budget doesn't mean I have to meet it.
Correct.
And that is completely not fair.
Chelsea, hold on. I want to jump in here because this is what I do. And as an artist,
let them know.
You don't get to go really quick. You don't get to go to Macy's or you don't get to go to buy Gucci and tell them, I want this purse. I got $1,000.
But hold on, no. But the difference. Hold on. So I want to.
There is a difference, but also people will. I feel like it's a little bit like
Gucci has the price on it, though.
No, Gucci has the price on it too. But when you come and you want a service and you look and you say, "Oh, I see Monica in one of the videos you did. She was hot." And then when you say, "Oh, $100," it's like, hold up.
So I'm not talking about that. So this is what I'm.
hell we doing?
This is what I'm going to say. let's say it's a video like what Chelsea said. It makes perfect sense. So I hope this gives people an understanding at home, because a lot of the people that's going to watch this show are rappers, entertainers. They got videos.
Business people, period.
This makes perfect sense. What happens if a person asks you what's your budget? And the reason why it's good to ask that is it cuts out a lot of the back and forth. Because now I can tell you how far I could go with this. Yes, you could get a hood video with you and your boy standing on a corner just pointing guns at the screen for $700.
How they doing
I'm
it?
just saying, they just all sitting there going like this the whole time. If that's all you want, it's just niggas with long ass ladder clips sticking out the motherfucking hip like this.
We got you.
Just standing on a corner. Okay, cool. But when you give a budget, you know what I'm saying, and you working with a dope artist, now it opens up the imagination of what you could create, right? Hold on, because what you could create. Because now you told me you got $7,000 to play around with. So now I can start thinking and saying, okay, we could go to the all white room, knock that out. I could get the lighting people to come in and do this. This is gonna be dope. I can get this chick, not the chick from around the corner that really don't look like nothing. And what are the girls doing? The girl, when you ask for the girl in your video, right? And you paid $250 and she thinks she's just gonna ride in the car next to you, but you tell her, oh, actually you're my girl in the video and there's a kissing scene. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta act and wear a thong.
Correct. So people got different rates for what they're doing. So when you give me your budget, now I or anybody else can go to the people and figure out what we can make happen for this amount of money.
What if they want a helicopter like you want it? Back when you was in your bag. What if they want the helicopter?
Shit. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I started laughing when you started talking about the budget. What
But that's research that you can look up.
Well, that's what I said, Chelsea. Do the research.
Now, in everything, obviously, I don't care what you do. When you get something from somebody, there's always going to be a charge on it. When the person goes and grabs the helicopter, if the helicopter rental was $1,000, he gonna put something on it for doing the work. That's just what people do. It's just a part of the business. Yeah, it's the service. They're going to go and handle all of this for you so that all you have to do is show up and rap or do whatever. So that is the real reason. Now, is there people out there that probably take advantage of that budget situation?
Absolutely.
Probably fucking so. So what I would do is I wouldn't be against the what's your budget thing. You might be a person that just says, I would like to have, you can talk to them about that. I would like to have receipts on the things that went into creating my music video or whatever to see what the disparity, like, you know what I'm saying? How different it is.
Or just like Wally said, go ahead and do your groundwork. Do your research before you go ahead and get into it, so you kind of like have an idea of what your budget should be. You know what you want to see. You already know what you want it to consist of. You got to reach out, do your homework, see what all that'll take, what it costs, and then you kind of like got an idea of what your budget need to be.
And what you need to put out.
So if somebody asks you that question, you don't feel like you just blind when it comes to knowledge of knowing what you need, and you know what I'm saying, you don't really know how to reply to that shit.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Because it's actually a question for you.
Because I was going to answer his question, right? I used to work for a consulting company, and that was the number one question that they would ask people was, yo, what's your budget? The way that you answer that question, right, is we used to have a script that we used to have to answer that question. The way that you answer that question is, what's the minimum amount that I need in a budget for a quality outcome? Right? That's you can say that to somebody word for word that asks you, yo, how much do you have in your budget? Okay, what's the minimum amount I need in the budget for a quality outcome?
I like that.
Right? Stump them every time.
Right.
Because I want quality. I'm telling you, I want quality. So I'm putting it back in your lap now. So now you can't go off of the fact that I'm a millionaire.
Now, but this is the thing. So niggas will beat around the bush with that and say, you know, well, quality is based off of
subjective.
It's subjective. Yes, it's based off of your perspective of what it is. You know, to me, maybe I like lions in my video, and you don't. I like helicopters in mine. Maybe you just like being on the block with Boo Boo and them. You know what I'm saying? To try to talk you into like, nigga, you need to spend that bag with me, because the truth is I go to the dude that got snakes all the time. So I get the snakes cheaper. I get the lions.
Right.
I already work with these people, and that's a part of the business. That's what he's supposed to do.
Right.
He goes to them more. You know what I mean? If you get in prop rentals and things like that,
Right.
oh, I go to them so much I get a discount, but you gonna get charged the full price so I can
Right.
make my money off of that.
I think
Exactly.
the quality too is better than the quantity, because people will say to me like they're having a bike wash.
Chelsea, that's a fact.
I want 6 girls, and I'm like, okay, well, this is how much it is. Well, we only got this in the budget. I say, okay, well, I could get you 3 quality girls at this price. And they're, oh, that's a lot. I got these girls, and they'll send me pictures of the girls from the other bike wash, and I'm like,
That's not it.
It looked like a a bad music video from the 90s. If that's what you like, that's fine, but I don't have terrible quality girls. So sometimes the what's your budget question is really good, because like you said, it'll knock down, it'll eliminate all the back and forth, and you can say, okay, I got around $500-$600. Like, what do you think will give me the best quality for the outcome for what I want? No matter what it is, you can always tell somebody a budget. And if you don't want to, you say, well, what do you think for what I'm doing? Because I'm sure the person you're contacting, if they've been doing it, they're professional. They can suggest things to you and kind of guide you to what you will need. But like Dev said, like Wally said, it's always good to do your research. There's nothing wrong with shopping around.
Right.
But
And
if there's companies that have been around a long time, most of them aren't going to try to like take advantage. But you do your research and you work with the best person. It's always good to go through referrals, people of other companies that you've heard of.
And look at their work too, Chelsea, because like when you picking girls, even when you pick girls from the show, you always say, send me pictures. There's a lot of females that send Chelsea pictures. They're all filters on them. No, sis.
I can tell right away.
Send me pictures of what you look like.
Yeah, they be looking like a straight cartoon blur. You know what I'm saying?
I've had guys DM me and say, hey, we want you to do this, or you got girls in the video. I'll be like, okay, this is the rate. And then they'll DM me 2 weeks later and be like, man, I wish we went with y'all, because they wanted to get something cheaper.
Right.
I wish we went with y'all
And
company.
they got a horrible
The girls
outcome.
didn't show up. They was drunk. They look busted. They didn't look like their photos. Sometimes you can't do the work yourself. That's what the middleman is for.
It's always good to have a point of reference, though. So what you said about having a video with the snakes and the lions and all of that, it's always good to have a point of reference, because now I can say, listen, I want my video to look like that. What does that cost?
Yes.
Right.
It always goes against you when you volunteer how much money you have in your budget.
Right.
You always, from a negotiating standpoint, you always want them to tell you what it costs
to
for
make
this.
something that look like
Because-
that.
And not to cut you off,
Go ahead,
I'm
bro.
always bidding low. So even if my budget is $1 million, I'm going to say I got $250,000.
Hello?
So
that's
we're already
business.
playing the game from the
Yeah.
beginning instead of you showing me my product or estimated range for this type of product and me saying I want
So,
something like that.
You know what that's called? And me and my best friend, shout out to Stas, we always say this,
Stas.
you're removing the fat. You're removing the fat. And you know what it is? Especially in anything, in any relationships, business relationships, is always being transparent.
And I want
gotta-
to get into the transparency
Exactly.
of the relationship thing, actually. You know what I'm saying? This is actually a different topic altogether. But we want to talk about, why is it difficult, or why can't people be transparent in relationships? And we talking about in all cases, like when you meet a person, you know what I mean?
Friendships.
People could say, yeah, I want a person to be transparent, but do you really? Like, I want to really talk about that. Like, why can't people be transparent?
I think people don't want to really accept the truth. Because sometimes when people be transparent, depending on whatever it is, it can be, someone telling you about yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, hey, I don't like X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? And you're kind of telling somebody, about themselves or whatever the case may be, because you're kind of being transparent. Like, hey, listen, I fuck with you, but you do this and I don't really like that. That's being transparent.
Right. So you think like, so if I'm a dude and I meet you and I see something that I don't like about you, but if I tell you that, I'm not going to get the cheeks maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if that's my goal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times later, like people be together, right? And then you'll start talking about something like, I can't stand that you always do. Well, nigga, I did that on our first date, second date. Like I've been doing that. Well, I've always had an issue with it.
I just never said
nothing because I pretty much knew I wasn't in the place to give you an ultimatum or make you change that. But now that you fucking with me real heavy, I'm vibing, I'm hitting and all of that, now I want to change that thing about you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that definitely would keep people from being transparent.
I just feel like it's in all things, in relationships, in friendships, I just feel when it comes to transparency and why people not being straight up and why people not coming with the raw truth, like, look, this is who I am, bro, and whatever, we go from there, is because a lot of times people fear like getting cut off. People, in some cases, some motherfuckers just got hidden agendas, which is whack. That's whack. You don't
even say some. There's a lot of
now, as far as like
occasions.
having fear of being cut off, let's say if you was lazy, right? You just naturally lazy, right? And in business, you my homie, and you just not gonna do shit. You like to watch TV, whatever. Like, my whole thing is like, just let me know that. Let me know, like, Rich, please find something that's for me. This what I do. You know what I do. You know me. Because I think we'll have a better shot at our relationship,
better friendship,
thriving, and getting longevity by me and you being honorable amongst one another, right? And I think a lot of people like, for what, it's different types of people. Like I said, you got people that hide it for finesse because they know they could get over.
Facts.
So this is why a lot of truth never comes to the light. I'm not being honest with nobody. I mean, that's out of my game. That's bad for the game I play. I mean, it's a lot of people that live like that. And then you got some people that really genuinely, even if it's a girl in a relationship situation, when it comes to like something she may have did, we done talked about girls sleeping with like an old homie back in the day, shit like that, and why they might not want to come forward. You know what I mean? It's that fear of getting like cut off. It's that fear, in some cases, I'll give the benefit of the doubt to some cases.
Now, but culturally, isn't some transparency or honesty considered rude or forward? Like like Chelsea always says, when a dude meets a woman and you don't know them from a can of paint, you can only see that she's bad. That's it.
Yeah.
His first reaction is, I want a pound. This is just the beat. This is the beat. We're being adults, right? You at the bar, you see her. Oh my God. So you slide over there. Now, the dude that says, I would like to pound, is the worst human being on earth.
That's a fact.
This is the truth. You will look at him, you'll splash a drink in his face. This nigga's crazy. So no, his job is to come over there
And lie.
talk to you. He don't really want to talk to you. Not everybody, because some niggas just like, I love talking to beautiful women. Right. But what I'm saying is, he might be like, I don't like that part. But in order to get to this part, because in what world do you just walk up to women in the club and be like, I would really like to fuck?
Can I say something quick? I don't think that, I don't 100% agree with you. I think it depends how he would say it.
The delivery.
So yeah, the delivery. I would respect a guy that came up to me and was like, look, I'm not really looking for a relationship, but I just want to have sex with somebody. Like, can we get to know each other?
Or have a good time.
Yo, hold on. I'm going to keep it real. I've never heard of a nigga walking up to a girl blindly and saying, listen, I saw you from across the room. I'm not looking for a relationship. I would like to have sex with you.
That just happened to me last week.
But did you respect it?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I know.
But I turned it down immediately.
Let me tell you, not to put my business all out there, but there was a situation where, so my best relationship I've ever had was with a guy that was in another situation. Because it was so transparent.
Right.
And I respected the shit out of him. Because I'd rather know than
not know.
Yeah. In a relationship.
I think
So
a
hold on, wait, hold on.
Go
So
ahead.
this goes deeper. This goes deeper.
That's heavy.
But hold on. So you respected him for that. Did the other person know about you? So this is where it is. So this is where.
But you can never trust him.
Wait. So this is where this whole shit gets muddy about how women respect men, and the reason why men, we so confused about what the fuck y'all want. Because at the same time, this man just showed you that he dishonest to the woman that he really with, right? But you'll still give the time of day and actual sexual intercourse with a nigga that got a whole woman, right? That's lying to her. So he like, I'm keeping it real with you. I'm not keeping it real with her, and I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth about niggas, cause I'm a nigga.
Go ahead, tell me.
The one you lied to, the one that you lied to is the one you love.
That's a fact.
It's the one you love.
The one you
It's the
love.
one you love.
Look at it,
That
look
is
at
the
it.
one you love.
This
is a fact.
Can we get parts of this real quick?
Yo.
Go ahead.
We need to kiss and shake this real quick.
If you tell the truth,
Hold on, let that Philly
Go ahead,
Rock
go
get
ahead.
in.
Here you go. I'm the most honest guy right now.
Go ahead, Slice. Let him know.
but I know, cause from lying you get into a lot of shit. So I'm the most honest guy, right? So whereas though I got homies in this room, I'm not gonna point some of these motherfuckers out. Like they lie their ass off because they're trying to get yams. Not GB, he older than them too. But the thing
trying to get
was,
what?
again, I agree with Dev. Sometimes when you're honest, you don't get the yams. I admit, if I just say like I don't want no relationship, and I say it a lot, ladies at home, I'm sorry, I don't want no relationship right now. But seriously, but there are women like Monica and like other women who respects the fact, I don't want no fucking woman, and I just want to have sex and I want to have a good time. But if you fucking are honest enough with a woman, what will they do? They gonna lie to themselves.
They gonna lie to themselves because they want to be lied to.
Oh.
And time out. And another thing, right? Another thing, right?
Hold on, hold on.
The women in this room will not understand, right? Is because pretty women don't have to lie as much.
Hold on, wait.
We gotta talk heavy. We gotta talk heavy in here, right? So with pretty women, you can be yourself because men have to lie to you to get with you, right? Or at least as a man, that's what we feel like. The prettier you are, the less you have to lie. Right, so the women in this room, y'all really you're not going to get it. But for the most part, I will say that most people that are in relationships, and that go for everybody in this room, in some shape, form, or fashion, your relationship started out as a lie.
Representative.
Hold on,
You met the representative.
Can I say
first.
something to that?
Go ahead.
I kind of agree to that to a certain degree. I agree to that because in the beginning of a relationship, in my previous relationship, it does start off as a lie because they want to sit here and say that, oh yeah, I love that you do this. I love that you independent. I love that you this, right? This is super true. They're lying, saying that they love that you do what you do, but
because
the
of how it looks.
right? But the moment you get into that relationship, that shit 360. Let me tell you something. This man started changing me little by little that I didn't even realize I was being changed.
He was punching the codes in.
As an individual, you start to realize I'm 6 months in and I'm like, I haven't did this. I haven't hung out with this person. Like legit, my social status, like just me as a person, me as a woman, me with my friends, like everything started to change. And I believe that because you get sucked into the lie. And that's why I always say transparency is important because if you don't like a woman to be independent, if you don't like a woman to be working around multiple men, say that. Because at the end of the day, it will help and remove all the fat, like I keep saying.
They will never say that in the beginning.
They wouldn't, but it will help.
They will never.
He wouldn't get you if he said, I can't have a woman that do her thing. Go ahead.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't say that, right?
He said that pretty women don't have to lie as much, and I'm still stuck on that because it's like when you're a pretty woman and say you're in a relationship and you have a whole bunch of guys hitting on you, and now you got to tell your man like, oh no, don't worry about it, because you don't want to make your man feel insecure. So sometimes you do have to lie about it and make it downplay like, oh no, he's just the homie, because now you want to start any problems with somebody who's your friend who has feelings for you, and at the same time you also don't want to make your man feel like, oh, you out here stepping out on him.
He don't mean that. He means, I'm gonna tell you what he means.
Let me go.
That's a good example though. That is a good, but he doesn't mean that. He doesn't.
Let me put it in a different way.
Layman's terms.
Niggas don't lie to ugly women. We don't have to lie as much to ugly women, right? Because I can be more of myself the uglier you are.
So you mean pretty bitches?
Yes, absolutely. We got a lot harder to beautiful women.
And women,
But you know you tell ugly women they're a little cuter than they are.
Absolutely, but
white lie.
Hold on, but wait. But what he's also talking about is like if if you're direct with certain things, a nigga will accept it because you bad.
Yes.
He not accepting the certain things from the less attractive, more normal. I don't want to say ugly, normal woman, because he like
the sixes.
This is a catch.
If she's out of his league.
Oh, I was about to say we need to watch Kevin Samuels. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Wait, really quick. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Porter.
Only thing I want to say real quick is that, first of all, shout out to Monica just on her transparency.
Shout out to my boo. What we got going on doesn't have shit to do with what he got going on and her got going on. That's what we got going on. That's none of my business.
Go ahead, Monica. Let him know.
That's okay.
No, I respect your honesty. I just respect your honesty, boo, because you came raw with it. But I just feel like male, both female, I think is male and females out there heavy that can relate to that. Like, I know for a fact that I know a male or two that was different from me, right? Because I'm different. I'm just different. But
yeah, you are different.
my homie, like I know a homie or two that was raw to him. Like, yo, yeah, I ain't doing none of that. I want to fuck. What you want to do for it? Like, what do you need? For me, I'm not that type of person. He's not saying he's a bad guy. It's like, I like you. I'm not even trying to lie to you from the rip. I'm trying like whatever. So, and I just felt like no bullshit. Like you said, that was the shit that when he had, like, his way with like women who he used to choose and say, yo, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And it was that raw honesty, because for real, we live in a fictitious world. We live in a fictitious world where everybody is doing a whole bunch of little faking. So I understand what Monica said, because it's just like on the flip side. When I used to get I had a female tell me before, when I was getting like to that point, a little bit sprit on. Right? I was a little yidung. I was a little yidung, and she was going crazy. Listen, I was a little yidung. She was going crazy on a gidung, and just doing whatever she do, and it had me
That's
to
the
the point,
rapper in him.
No, it had me
and
to the
the
point.
yidung and a skidung and a gidung.
Listen, it had me to the point where I was like, I gotta do something with this. I can't let this go. This is something good. She decent, right? And I broke I came and was the aggressor in this conversation.
And what you say?
I was like, yo, like, what's up? Like, we chilling, we vibing, everything's good.
He bust off and was like, I love you.
Listen, hey, bro, it was a real conversation. I really wanted to get it. I really wanted to get an answer, so it was a real conversation. I was like, yo, what are we doing? Like, I'm willing to take this to the next level. Like, what are we doing? And she was younger than me, right? A tad bit younger than me. And she looked at me, and mind you, this bro pushed up on me. She pushed up on me and initiated this whole shit. And she looked at me and was like, Rich, like, I fuck with you. You dope. You cool. I like everything we doing. She was like, but I don't want nothing serious. I'm cool with this. And at that moment, because I'm a quick thinker. I like to quick think and hurry up and rapidly come up with a decision sometimes. You know what I mean? And in that situation, I was like, damn, what the fitos? And I was like, yo, I don't want to lose this. I didn't want to lose it.
You wanted to keep it.
Even though she gave me that answer, I didn't want to lose it. So you know what I said? I said, listen, I'm good with that too.
Yeah, you got to.
I said I'm good with that too.
This is crazy though. Something he pointed out when she said that, and she spoke, is that women at that point will lie to themselves. And this is a real thing. This is a real thing that I used to go through. Yo, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why.
Look at Monica. Look, she ready.
So this don't sound like her particular situation, but when you are forward. And I wasn't forward like walking in the club and just say some wild shit. What happened is
how forward was you?
No, so what happens is you pulled it, you bag whoever you bag, right? And then you're letting them know, like, actually, you know what I'm saying? Because now they already done kicking it with you a little bit. This is my situation. And the shorty continued to fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? But what happened was whenever I would I would always talk about my girl, because we lived together and all of that type of shit.
This is previous.
Yeah, I was fucking like 24 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, we stayed together. So when she would be like, yo, stop bringing her up around me and shit like that. So I stopped. And a nigga could go into two modes. When I'm in there, I'm this mode. When I'm there, I'm this mode. And it went so long that shorty asked me, I think I talked to y'all, but maybe on a Sound Only Sunday,
like,
possibly.
Are y'all even still together?
She asked me, yo, we doing Thanksgiving. Come through the, my moms want you to do.
The side chick said this.
I said, I can't do that. Why?
I gotta.
Because you know I can't. I don't. What's the problem? You know,
Right.
My girl.
Right.
She went nuts.
Berserker.
She lied to herself in her own mind that
She created her
she
own reality.
created her own reality
Yep.
that like we were in this thing together when it was completely discussed, and we even had a whole discussion where she said, "Can you just not bring
her up.
that bitch up no more?" And I'm like, "Yo, that's my girl. You gotta
Watch your mouth.
right. That's my girl."
I
and it's
respect
like,
you for
okay,
that.
okay, but just can you not bring her up no more? I don't need to hear
She's
about
not built
her.
for that.
You know what I'm saying?
She wasn't built for it.
But a lot of women, what I'm saying is, a lot of women will build that up and even have, like you said, if I ask you in general, do you have respect for niggas that lie to their girl?
Hold on, listen. So I thought you were gonna say something lying to myself, as in like. So I know it's not right, completely not right, and I'm honest with myself to know that it's a defense mechanism. When you've been hurt for so long in relationships and you have that PTSD of shock of finding things out, you would rather be in a relationship that's not, right, and to know everything.
You know from the rip
So
it's not
I would
yours.
I'm choosing that right now as I'm like, on my journey of healing.
Not
and
only
whatnot.
that, but what if
While she's smiling.
I gotta talk to my sisters because it's not right.
Hold
what I'm doing,
on,
blah,
because
blah.
I've been in that same situation that you mentioned, and I just want to say, what about if you don't really know what the real situation is, right? And the nigga come tell you like, nah, like she playing. I ain't with all that. Like, so that's why I'm outside and
His
I'm
main
moving
girl,
outside
like,
of that.
I don't know his
and listen, and you don't really know the truth. And you might,
Like
what,
how
say
he's
what?
feeling
He
in
might
his
be
head
telling the
and shit.
truth. Because I've had girls that be like, listen, I've had females that come out of a whole shitty situation, and it be that shitty situation that make them go astray. And they land in my room. You know?
But sometimes those shitty relationships, like, I don't want to say shitty, but
Might
things
not be her.
that start
That's all I'm
off
saying.
as a lie, or I'm okay being like the side piece or this and that. Sometimes they can turn into a real relationship, and like you said, in your head you make it up, and then you all in some bullshit that you don't want to be in because for so long you've been living that. Like,
Right.
Yes.
and then now that he lied to you from the beginning with something that's that like a whole nother girlfriend, like you can't really like trust anything he says in the future as far as being single or faithful to you. Now, when I said
Or I know
earlier,
the game better because he tells me what he's supposedly doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm learning along the way.
so when I told you really quick,
No.
Really
no,
quick.
No.
So when I was saying
Chelsea, then I gotta say something.
When I said last week that the guy came up and I was not here, I was somewhere else, and he pretty much came up to me and was like, "Oh, blah blah, can I get you a drink? I'm just trying to have fun." I knew from the beginning, because I'm older, I was like, I know what he means by have fun. And I immediately said, "Nah, bro, not like that. Like, I can't." So I actually helped to pull one of the bartenders to start talking to her.
Throw him the oop.
Yeah, and immediately I told him, I was like, "Look, I can't get down like that. Like, I'm in a relationship, X, Y, and Z." And I said, he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to be so direct, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "I don't really give a fuck, because I would never look at you for a relationship or anything like that ever in the future. I'm just too old for that." But it also comes with doing that to the right person. You can go up to a girl or a guy and be like, "Look, I'm just trying to fuck, blah, blah." You might get the right person. She'd be like, "Oh, we out."
Yeah.
That wasn't me that day for him.
Well, let me ask y'all all something. Will we all agree that a relationship is work?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right? So a relationship,
Absolutely.
so we established that everyone in this room says a relationship is work. You too, right? When people is cheating on somebody and they dealing with somebody else, the girlfriend is work. You are a vacation.
Absolutely.
When you become that person's girl, as that y'all start to get feelings and maybe he drift off, now you become work. Once he's with you, you're the job now. You feel what I'm saying? It's just what it is.
It's
just
crazy how you put it like
but
that.
This
a fact.
This is the reality because
In
I
all
used to live that
relationships,
life.
So how do you be the vacation
is your
girlfriend?
relationship work? Like,
Yeah,
you
every
So
relationship.
wait, you can't find a relationship that's work and vacation?
No, I'm gonna explain what I'm saying. A relationship,
girl, I mean.
a relationship has to be worked on. There's no work that you have to put in with a side girl. There's no reason. Like I need, what I'm saying is I have to put effort in with my girl. That's my job, my duty. I'm here to do that. And everything that I do, the things that I don't like to do, I'm gonna be sure that I do it for my girl. I have to do that. I don't gotta do none of that. With the, this, the person that
second girlfriend, not the side chick.
I want to speak on that.
That's works.
No,
That's a different thing.
That's wild that she said
That's
that.
real that I was going to touch on that where I said, like, I understand what Dev is saying because that's true when you only love the one, right? And the one is your main, like, priority. But there is situations where niggas get caught up in the side and the side start showing up the one.
But that's what I'm getting at is what happens is there's a such thing as like a feelings transfer. It's the reason why you see a woman deal with a man for dumb long, right? They with this dude, they been with this nigga 6 years. They don't got no kid, nothing like that. They break up. They jump so fast into the next situation. You like, how you married this new dude in 8 months? You was with this other nigga for 6 years though. Y'all got a kid now? Because it's almost like part of that relationship in their mind. It's a cycle. It's a psyche thing.
Mentally
it was
out.
all one thing. So what happens is there's a transfer over. So what happens is that person starts becoming the work in whatever. When they're done with that person, I need a new vacation.
I want to say 90% of the relationships, Monica, I'll get this to you since you in it. I've been a side nigga. I might be one right now. Get that shit on the low. Here we go. 90% of the times when you transfer over to your side piece, it does not work. And I'm going to tell you why.
I agree.
When he's saying vacation, when I deal with my side woman, everything is good times. We only together. When we get together, we going out to eat. When we get together, we fucking. When we get together, there's nice times. We're never really arguing. Even if you're my second girlfriend, we'll call it that.
You got nothing to argue
When
about.
I go home to my woman, we got bills to discuss. We got kids not listening. We got real fucking issues. Like he's saying, this work. That's his work. When I get with you, I'm fucking having the best time of our lives. So you are getting a distorted, small portion of this man because once you get him, now you got to deal with his nasty ass attitude when he had a bad day.
Do you have to argue with that nigga about what color couches y'all getting? What kind of refrigerator y'all getting?
That's until she start demanding more and you want to keep both.
You shouldn't
Because
have to
now you
argue.
find
The
yourself
lady should
doing
just
two
pick out
jobs.
everything.
Hold on. Number one, my decor in my crib is phenomenal, all due to the artistic abilities of your boy Devinwade.
We're going to ask Connie about that.
No, everybody. Listen, she tried to front on my shit, but everybody walk in there like, damn, nigga, you did this. Or she did this. She did this. And it's like, oh, no, that was me, by the way.
I believe it because I know the nigga and I seen like a lot of his work. And when he was calling me about that whole crib shit, I was like, nigga, I know you're gonna put it together. Get off my phone. I know you.
But I'm saying is, in relationships, like he said, y'all now it's about bills, it's about the kid, it's about every detail because you don't make any move in your life without that person. I have to represent. I don't care if it's what I do on this show. I still got to represent my girl. I can't come on this show and be biting on the ass cheeks. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's not.
I can.
You could.
But what I'm saying is everything that you do, you know what I'm saying, is in tune with that person. So there's going to be more friction with that. When it's just a stop by and it's like we just having fun and kicking it, it's a fantasy version of it, or sometimes the beginning stages of when you first got with a person is like that. You know what I'm saying?
So let me give you an example. I gotta break guy code real quick. Y'all gotta excuse me.
Oh man! Oh my God!
You know, I respect the GB. I respect the GB.
Excuse me real quick.
I love it because GB and Dad do it sometimes.
Right.
Go ahead.
So the realization is when to give you an example of how women lie to themselves, right? With the shit that we do, right? The biggest lie I ever told is, yo, I'm going to leave her. Yo, I'm going to leave her. I'm not fucking with her right now. I'm not happy at home. Yo, it's the biggest lie I ever told. But guess what happens is you become the woman that's around for 6 years because you convinced yourself to believe that. Mm-hmm. Even though you know from watching movies, from all your girlfriends, history has shown you that is a lie.
Yes.
Right? And everybody in here, every man in here will tell you that is a lie. But when it's you know what you'll say? I'm different. And you'll convince yourself that
he's different.
Is different. He's not different.
You made him different.
So you want to know what's crazy? When people don't realize that the person got 3 different vacation spots.
That's
And what happens is it really do bother and hurt them when they find out that it was cool when I thought I was just a vacation.
Yep.
But if I find out that you got more vacation spots, because that's what used to happen to me with certain Jones too. If they did know, it would be like, I mean, damn, like you fucking with her and her, like
Yeah,
what,
you
what
only allowed to fuck me and your wife.
That's it.
If you fuck with anybody else, you're
cheating
cheating.
on us.
You're cheating on us.
It's the realest shit in the world. Damn, nigga really broke God code and broke that. Yo, because that's because most of the time, real rap, the nigga isn't in a bad relationship in his mind. He actually loved his girl to death and all that. He just could not turn away from them cheeks. So even the nigga gotta lie to himself sometimes and say, man, my bitch be tripping, cause he trying to justify why he's going to these other cheeks, because he feels like a scumbag if he just says my wife is. It's like my girl's actually an excellent human. I just want some different shade dumps. He feels like a wild, disgusting animal. So what he starts doing is picking shit apart. I don't like the way she cleans the dresser.
Yep.
I don't like the fact that she gives me all the bottom drawers. You know what I'm saying?
She only cooks on the weekends.
And that's what women
looking for the fight.
And that's what women do. He leaves the seat down. They ignore the fact that he saved the whole family in the fire, that he works 3 jobs, that he does all of this shit, that he's the greatest man on earth. They're going to be like, he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't do this, and nitpick. And that's what a lot of times people do. Because I know I definitely dealt with women who, when I really saw what was going on, these niggas was Superman, and they was just cheating with me because I was just a fun, goofy nigga that giving out dick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where we at with it.
I don't give a fuck.
Yo, let's bring out the wheel, yo. Let's bring out the wheel. Let's bring out the wheel. And can we get some more champagne? Or we out? I know we not out.
We got hella
Listen,
champagne.
I'm in my second cup. I'm lit.
Listen. We got to toast though. We got to get some champagne out here. You know what I'm saying?
Look, there goes Sim right there.
Pour some in there.
We gotta get. You know what I mean? A little toast on, man.
I got some in here
Hey,
already.
Sim, if that bottle go, don't worry about it. There's plenty in the fridge.
Yo, shout out
Devinwade
Keybon Moms. Come over to the camera real quick.
Keybon Moms.
Listen, a lot of times behind the scenes, you got Keybon Moms. You know what I'm saying? Pressing the buttons. We got my man Els as well behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
The real LL.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Els was who y'all saw on a past episode. I'm gonna just mention this, sucking toes. And the toes that he was sucking, what was it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, that was one of the first beginning episodes. But you know, before we spin this wheel, I just wanna thank everybody that is tuned into this shit. Like, this show was made pandemic frenzy. Not knowing what was going on, we got together as a group of friends and just freestyled and put something together. You know what I'm saying? In my lounge or lobby. You feel what I'm saying? And I didn't know whether 100 people was going to watch. I would have been blown away with 100 people tuning in, watching. And to see thousands of people tuning in every week, getting to know us getting to know different, family members through the virtual world that we know their names and shit like that. And, being able to be in the group chat with us every week, in the live chat, man, we just appreciate the shit out of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy love.
Yeah, just heavy, yo. People that came out to live events, people that came, that just fuck with this John. It's been great for everybody here's brands and everything we've been doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, for me, I'll let them speak. But for myself, man, Devinwade, I appreciate the shit out of y'all, and this is way bigger than I ever thought. You know what I'm saying?
That's
this shit
a
would
fact.
be.
I appreciate. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just appreciate everybody on this team. I appreciate Dev for creating this aesthetic for us. Creating this platform for us to promote our own brands individually, and all the work you've done is, listen, we appreciate everything you do. Your energy is unmatched. Chelsea, just thank you just for being that other right hand for me, being that other woman on this show. Richie, thank you for being another brother to me. You know what I'm saying? Talk heavy. Thank you for always just, making me uncomfortable. But always, showing love, and Slice and GB, y'all the shit, man. Like, y'all always show love regardless, even if it's not Talk Heavy and it's Devinwade shit, you always show up. Come through. To the Nasty Girls, Monica for always being 100. Sin for being listen, you've been here from day one. You show up all the time.
Word.
For all the work that you do, you got a baby at home, you got a family to take care of. Listen, you hold it down. Monica, you always here. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody behind the scenes. Vega, you already know how we feel. You on your phone texting, but we still love you, boo.
And for everybody, man, people love seeing Talk Heavy on the show and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, if y'all not tuned in to Talk Heavy,
y'all missing
I'm
out.
talking about on the days when we not there. It ain't no different. Them boys is doing.
And we're going to be on there more
Oh,
days.
yeah, we're going to be on there more days because this is the season finale. But when you come here every Tuesday at motherfucking 8 p.m., we going to be here. It's just going to be something a little bit different. And when we come back with the new season, we coming with a whole new thing, man. Another person. It's been so hard. Y'all don't understand the work it takes to put together these episodes because one of our just backbones of the motherfucking show over there with her gangster shades on.
DJ Chelsea Lee.
Chelsea Lee has moved to Puerto Rico, my second home now and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She lives in Puerto Rico, so. Y'all, you're gonna be seeing her sparingly, but she will be coming through, sliding through and everything like that. But everybody has grown so much. It's been a crazy journey where everybody is since this whole thing started. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So one last salute to y'all. And let's see what's up. Let's toast real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To everybody, to the whole motherfucking show fam, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Love y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
I see y'all at the beach, man.
I just want to say, shout out to Chelsea, man. Congratulations on her, what she doing. I called all my people in Puerto Rico. They got her. It's nothing. Other than that, man, besides the people that's here, especially the ones, who just been super loyal with us, man. Super loyal, super putting in the work. Sin, Monica, Talk Heavy family, Key Bomb. Like, y'all don't understand, again, like we said earlier, y'all don't understand what really makes this work. Y'all just see, like, the final product. Y'all don't see a lot of L's. Y'all don't see a lot of this shit that be going on behind the scenes.
Shout out to L's.
Shout out to James Johnson.
James Johnson. And a lot of these people that we mentioned, and you could get at them for like different shit because they do shit. They photographers.
That's
they
a fact.
do websites. They do a bunch of shit. So you could like get at some of these people and get some help with your shit. But other than that, man, I just want to say, shout out to the family, man. Salute to them because no one person makes this shit twinkle. We all come together. Everybody play their role, and it makes it that much more simpler for us to do this and do something so amazing for the people. And other than that, man, shout out to the people. Shout out to the people because the listeners, like the chats, the people that be in the chats with us, our subscribers. Like, listen, y'all don't know how much we get through life together. When y'all chime in with us, and we go through a certain topic, and when y'all say, nah, Dad, but I ain't see it like that. I seen it like, y'all don't know how much fucking closure and fucking clarity we get on shit. You know what I'm saying? So all I say is we fearless. When it comes to the Devinwade Show, we fearless. We not here to try to brown nose and just being good with people. We here to do the work for the people. We here to be us. We friends, and we here to be us for the people. So we need the people that's rocking with us to continue to be fearless. To continue to be fearless and rock with us. And other than that, I just want to shout out to a couple people who ain't here because, like I said, everybody, even the girls who, Dashima, you got girls like that was, Angelina, listen, everybody, every guest, Danny Garcia, Omi and the HELLCAT.
Omi, shout out to
everybody.
Shout out to Danny.
Listen,
Mike Daniels.
Mike Daniels, shout out to you, bro.
Can't forget Mike Daniels. Come on, Mike Daniels had us in Del
He
Frisco.
family.
Sharon Barber.
Sharon Barber. Like, come on.
Sav,
listen.
shout out to you, boo.
Styles.
Right.
Yes. Oh, I said Styles. I'm sorry. Sav, Britt, and Styles. Because both amazing people, both amazing women, man. Listen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. And just stay tuned. My nigga Devinwade,
Amen.
listen.
We about to turn up. We're gonna add some shit. We about to turn up for this next season, man.
Yes, we is.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're, of course, like Wally said, man, we appreciate my brother, man. You know, me and my brother, like I said, me and my brother been chopping it up about a lot of shit when a lot of shit was just, you know, we've
Listen,
been
Dev
we've
is
been
the GOAT,
rocking.
period.
We've been rocking,
If
right?
y'all don't think that nigga the GOAT, y'all a fucking hater.
Nah,
all right?
real shit.
That's a fact.
Don't
Real
get
shit.
me
And if
talking.
you can't get with him, it's probably a reason to it.
Cause he got a motherfucking job.
Yeah,
Period.
he about that business.
He getting to the dollar. Period.
About that BI.
Anyway,
We got the wheel out here, you know what I'm saying? The wheel is in the camera. We good. You know, and we don't know what the wheel gonna land on. It might land on some other shit. Who knows? We don't got no limit on what the fuck we
Right.
doing. This is the fucking 100th episode, you know what I'm saying?
y'all already know.
All we know is we got some ones ready.
Yeah, and we not
I'm with
playing.
y'all. I'm manifesting a twerk break for
Let's
y'all
go.
right now.
Let's
Okay,
go.
okay.
Let's go.
We don't have to manifest what I got control over.
Let's go.
let him know, Charles. Let him know.
Let's go. It's too many.
What is it?
I'ma take it to the grave now. Ain't pain, it's pain now. She wanna ride like yeah. I wanna ball like a ray out. Niggas got something to say about it. I ain't taking nothing, nothing. She my baby, yeah, I know that she love it. She ain't satisfied with my baby coming. Know these niggas people who I'm becoming. He a slight right inside of my life. I'm a slide baby girl like a size. You a pussy nigga, hang out the mice. I'm right, Calvin Cambridge. I can't fix your aim, bitch. What you saying, bitch? I can't speak your language. Give my flowers, this like here no banquet. Yeah, I have one OGs, you have one niggas I wanna be at. Yeah, she thinks she know me, she don't even know what niggas be at. Yeah, I slapped my bitch out in that Gucci so she can brag.
Y'all heard it.
I made her a brag now, no turning back, huh? Thought she could buy that, I could drink money, now she thinks she that, huh? I'm really just
Look at my boy, look at my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, I came in fine.
Okay.
Fresh to death. Nigga know I'm high. They shot it. Why you out? Nigga know I'm high. They shot it. Why you out of breath? Look at this round.
My man Els, you see, this been another episode of the Devinwade Show, the season finale. And you already know when we come back, we coming back harder than ever, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're here next week, though. We'll still have some content for you, you know what I'm saying? Just rock out with us, you know what I'm saying? Yo! Yeah, you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, it is.
Let's
Got something to say about it.
lay back and chill for a minute.
Baby, yeah, I know that she love it. She ain't satisfied with my baby coming. She thinks she know me, she don't even know what niggas be at. Yeah, I killed all my homies, at the dealership, I stand on the jazz.
Rap near what?
Out in that Gucci so she can brag.
I said rap near a butt. I said rap near a butt because he was all the way up here. And then the nigga head just hit.
I thought you said rap.
Yo, bro, listen. Bro, listen, bro. Bro, listen.